Welcome back to Community Talk Radio. This is Project Independence and You, talk of the town, talk of life. I am joined by my two co-hosts, Otto Los and Paula Yule, and we are going to see what Otto has in our freestyle segment of the afternoon. So, Otto, lay it on us. Lay it on us.
Lay it on us is right.
Okay. You have said numerous times about we all have memories, and you also have said many times about the upcoming workshop that will be held wrapped around America's 250th anniversary.
Yep.
All right. What I would like to know from you is, you're now in this writing workshop. What are you going to write about?
Okay, so if we're talking about the memoir series and where it's geared obviously
That's what we're
towards
talking about.
America 250, so, we wanted to kind of reflect
Right.
certainly memories, and I think growing up on Long Island especially, I think these holidays are, like, we all have different, things from our childhood, whether it was Memorial Day or July 4th. I'm currently in Levittown, and there are just fireworks all the time. So, they're celebrating something every day.
Right.
I'm not sure what it is, but there's a lot of summer celebrating going on there. But I'd have to think, Otto, I know that you probably have prepared a thought in your head.
Oh, you're
About
turning
it.
it on me.
So, my
That's our
friend.
Well done.
So, my friend, while I ponder,
Well,
You let us
here's
know.
what you have in the brochure, whoever wrote this, all
Yes.
right?
Kristina, I'm
That'd be-
sure.
Let's see, the story invites seniors to gather for a new 6-session memoir series that celebrates personal stories, shared history. It's going to provide memoir writing guidance involving your childhood, work, family, neighborhood life, and historic moments you experienced firsthand. All right.
So if we're going to go by rule, by
Oh.
what you've just said, she's not a senior, so she doesn't have to answer
thanks.
this question.
Well, no, I'm adjusting the
Dan.
rules.
He said, as founding father, I am adjusting the rules.
I'll try to help you out
I
there.
am
Thanks,
making
yeah.
an edict.
Thanks,
The rule
Dad.
has
I
been
did that.
adjusted.
A new
Yeah.
law.
He said, sorry.
I
Well, you
mean,
give a guy an award.
you know,
That's
the,
what
That's right.
The
He had
fact-
that gavel.
the fact that I'm double your age
Never, please.
plus,
Yeah.
I have experienced a lot of history.
Yeah.
Going back
you've
to
talked
World
about
War.
it here.
Yeah.
Well, going back to World War II, I
Yeah.
do remember World War II.
That's
And when it
amazing.
ended, I was 9 years old.
Wow.
It was a very predominant thing in everything.
Yeah.
Every comic book, everything. I remember my father and mother saving fat, put it in a can, newspapers. I remember all of this stuff.
Wow.
I remember stars being put on windows.
Gold Star Mothers kind of thing.
You know,
Yeah.
the color told you whether the person was still alive or not,
Yeah.
and how many people were serving in the military.
Right.
Yeah.
Every house had a banner,
Right.
just
Wow.
about, you know. So the whole country was completely engrossed in World War
And
II.
united,
Because
yeah.
Right.
half the men in the country weren't gone, and they weren't gone like today. They were gone, all right?
Right.
There was none of this
Right.
telephone.
didn't- right.
To forget that was like, wasn't going to happen either. So when you went away for 2 or 3 or 4 years in a war,
Yeah.
you were gone.
Yeah.
So I remember that. Remember people talking about it. I remember war bonds. People, you know, you think about it. How old? I guess I was like in the 3rd grade, and we used to have to go on the desks all the time.
Practice drills.
Pull the black shades down, and this stuff sticks in your head
Oh,
when you're a
yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
You know, it really does. And I would say, from a historical point of view, for some reason, even I was younger, I remember a lot of that. I remember when it was finally over, they would have block parties everywhere. Everybody who came home, they had a
Wow.
block party
Wow.
celebrating. And back then, you really didn't get the PTSD thing,
Right.
but you knew that there were people who
People,
were having
yeah.
problems.
Yeah.
I would say there was a lot of heavy drinking
Yeah. Yeah.
back in those days compared to today.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it had to do with
Self-medicating.
what people
Yeah.
you visualize now. You're 3, 4, 5 years fighting in hand
Yeah.
with guns with people in front of you. Not like now where you hit a button and
Right.
you kill 100
Right.
people while you're sitting in an office like this. This is eyeball to eyeball stuff, and take that hill and do this and do that. So I remember people coming home being. It's hard to describe.
Yeah.
You know, they
Like
weren't all
different,
jumping
changes
for
you.
joy.
Right.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, that's a big.
We recognized that when we interviewed those guys,
I was
and,
just
and even
thinking
my
the
own
same thing, yeah.
father. My father would never talk about
No,
the war.
mine either.
Never.
He was
A
in
lot
World
of
War
people
II.
wouldn't.
just start, like World War II veterans in particular, when they realize there's hardly anybody left.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Then they start talking about it.
Yeah.
And we've had people on the
Yeah,
show.
well, that's what I was just sitting here thinking about, and that is one of my favorite things that we've ever done on this program, because we did a lot. There was a lot of interviews, for the Veterans Oral History Project here at the university, and it was just to hear the stories, and what was so moving was that, a lot of times they would bring their family members who would be, in our little green room area kind of listening, and they were like, I've never heard this story before.
Right.
And that was like so incredibly beautiful that, they felt comfortable and, safe to open up and talk about, these things. And I think about that one man that we had interviewed, when they were 17, him and the German soldier
Yeah.
looked at each other, and just two little kids, and
Oh,
just
God.
like I
With
couldn't.
both with guns.
Both
Yeah,
with guns,
both
and
with
just
guns.
turned around and went the other ways, and it just showed you,
They went
here
into
were
a
these-
foxhole.
Yeah.
And this is very
Humanity.
typical of soldiers. Vietnam, Korea, even Afghanistan. Those guys come home, they don't want to talk
No,
about it.
I have a lot of friends, who, and it's just and their own, wives, or say like, they won't. And I said, well, you know what? I think you just roll with it. If they want to, they want to. If they don't, then
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
my
There was so-
wife's uncle was a corpsman in World War II, and he was a raving alcoholic. He wasn't before the war,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
but he was after the
Yeah.
war.
Right. Oh, there was so much shame, I would imagine, because of that, what we now
Well,
call
what they saw,
PTSD,
too.
that
Yeah.
I came home
Yeah.
with this and I'm different.
And it's
and
unfortunate that even when we look in this room, you remember World War II. I remember Vietnam because my brother served.
Yes.
You were Afghanistan. I mean, each generation in this room, unfortunately, we
war.
have
Yeah, but when are we going to learn?
Right.
That's my point. That's my point.
You know,
we
when
keep
I
doing
went-
the same mistakes over and over and over. again.
Connecting the dots, when I was a kid, there were people still alive who were in the Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think about that. I mean, talk about connecting time. But
right.
And I'll be honest with you, if I thought about if there was ever a just war, it was the Second World War.
Yeah.
Because that
I
needed
agree.
to happen.
well, Hitler was trying to take
Right,
over
right,
everything.
right.
Vietnam,
Well, and then-
Afghanistan, these are all very questionable engagements, including the current one.
Yeah,
And I don't want to get, we're not going to get politicized the show, but there were always questions, but there was never any question to why people went.
well, we were
To the
attacked
Second World
also in World War II, straight out in
Right.
Pearl
Right.
Harbor.
Right.
Yeah, and,
Um,
yeah,
You know, so I mean, it was a double war. It
Yeah.
wasn't. There
on
was
two
two
fronts.
wars going
Right.
On
on.
two fronts.
But
yeah.
how different how the country unified around that.
Yeah. Now.
No, and that
I-
also
I
in turn
wasn't-
changed the better, like,
Yeah,
they came
changed,
home,
right, and there
how
was a
they
different-
felt
yes.
about it.
Well, another major part, by the way, is there was a draft then. All right.
Yeah. Mhm.
Everybody, everybody, Ted Williams, Joe DiMaggio, it didn't matter who you
They
were,
went.
you were going,
Yeah.
all right? And in most cases, you weren't just in a cush job either. Ted
were
Williams
infantry.
was a fighter pilot, you know, and he was,
But I have a question because we've kind of rolled away. That's interesting. I find that interesting. The first memory you have, the largest memory of, is a war. You know what I mean? When
Well, it
when
impacted everything.
It impacted everything. But I ask you, think back to those times. What were some of the more positive things from your existence back then that were?
most positive things to me was I loved my childhood. I loved playing with any kind of ball.
I know.
I grew up in
Any kind of ball, not
They went from
specific,
Well, I,
baseball
was
whatever.
a
it is.
I
bowling
didn't have
to
any brothers
golf.
or sisters,
Right.
but it didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Right,
I
you were an
grew
only
up in a
child, that's right.
neighborhood
Right, where you
where
feel connected.
That was different,
I
yeah.
would go out at 8 o'clock in the morning, and there was
You didn't come
somebody
back
to
till
play
dinner
with.
time, right?
You
Yeah.
know? And we played
We had that
everything.
too.
My generation did that too.
Street knowledge, looking back in my life, was worth millions of dollars, really. And just the whole idea that we played these games, we competed. And I loved every minute of it.
If you're on social media, you'll see a lot that says, my generation was the last generation really to do that. My parents kicked us out in the morning and didn't expect us back until the street lights
You
came
amused
on.
yourself. No,
And
there
you
was
amused
no
yourself.
sense of play dates.
And the
or
only time we really watched TV was at night if
At
your
night.
parents let you, or Saturday morning cartoons,
Right,
and that was
yeah.
it.
Right.
I didn't
There were
have
no other
television
screen. I
until
know
I
you
was
had-
14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were no screens involved. So we were out playing.
Right. And learning how to be with each other. Learning how to be with people and communicate.
Well, also, we
And-
grew up in a baby boomer time where there were
Yes,
plenty
yes.
of kids in the neighborhood. My
Yeah.
my grandkids are in a neighborhood where there's no kids.
Right.
Same. My
That's
block,
gonna be
my block has
different.
no.
It's mostly
yeah.
senior citizens
Yeah.
living in their homes. So
Yeah, my
and
block
my kids
too. We
grew
don't
up in
have, like,
that-
any
that
kids on my
also.
block.
The first place I lived in the current town I'm in, there wasn't another child on for blocks.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
I grew up, there were 20 kids
Oh,
on
yeah.
the block.
That's
with
why I
not
tell you guys I get so upset on Halloween because there's not.
Yeah,
a-
no,
in
no,
my
but
house.
that's really real.
Why is that? Is it that, like where I live right by a park,
Yeah.
New Hyde Park Memorial and Tully. Very rarely is there anybody playing with a couple of kids on the baseball field.
Right.
Wow.
Those fields are never used.
Really?
Basketball sometimes. More kids kicking a ball around
Yeah.
than others, but there's very few kids out playing.
Right.
And frankly, I mean, and I use it, and I'm a technology person. I think it has a lot of value, but it also has taken away a lot in terms of what you
Yeah,
talked
yeah,
about, Paula,
yeah.
the ability to communicate.
And to learn how to be with other people and get hurt,
And
be
tolerate-
happy, work out conflicts.
There were bullies back then, all right?
Absolutely.
Not everybody was a wonderful child back
right.
then either, all right?
No.
Except for
No.
myself.
Right,
Of course
right.
you
He's like, obviously.
But if I were to write a memoir, I think I would key in on those times where there were 20 of us in the neighborhood.
And they're still our
we
friends.
played stickball and we
Yeah.
played all kinds of games and got in trouble at night because we played this game called Wolf where you'd hide in people's backyards and neighborhoods and
Yeah, we played.
Yes, that was Ghost in the Graveyard for
I
me.
grew up near
We had Ghost in the
cemeteries.
Tap Tap,
We used to play hide and seek and Ring Olivio in the
Ringalivio,
cemetery.
Ghost in the Graveyard. Yeah.
The only thing, you had to kick the rats out of the
Yeah.
way.
Oh, we didn't have that.
I grew up in the suburbs.
But I would probably write about that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think
you
you'd be
know.
great. I would love to read
Another
it.
one that just came up, I have a picture that I just discovered. I grew up in Woodhaven in Queens, and on what I remember is trolley cars, all right? Clearly remember trolley cars, which would be running on tracks. People today have no clue about a trolley car. And it had the thing on the top that would run
Wire,
along
yeah.
the power line.
Yeah, the power line.
And what we used to do is
He's laughing. You know it's gonna be good when Otto just starts laughing.
me and my gang,
the only child in the gang.
we would take pennies and put them on a track and think it was going to knock the trolley car off the tracks. And a penny would come out this big.
Yeah.
It came in that big, then it was that big.
When I was growing up, the Long Island Railroad was on the ground. They elevated everything where I live, and we used to do that to the Long Island Railroad trains. We put them right on the track, come back,
Yeah.
wait for it to pass. If it didn't shoot out at you, you had to be careful that it didn't.
I'll tell you what, girls don't do things like that.
No.
It clearly was a
Did that.
boy
Well,
thing.
Yeah, you guys haven't said much here. I mean,
Well,
I know. I'm like just
You know,
I'm
the
fascinated
other
by
I
part-
could listen
yeah.
all day
fascinated
to
to
Otto's
these two
story.
idiots? Yeah, all right.
the other part with the trolley car thing that I forgot all about until I just sent this to Nick, who you saw the other day, because he's playing basketball near that area. And the other thing is that all the roads back then, like Jamaica Avenue, Jericho Turnpike, whatever, had trolley tracks on them. And those trolleys ran a specific path. It wasn't like a bus pulling over. These trolleys were in the middle of the street. And you look
You
back
jump on, jump off, right?
No,
Did
you
they-
paid.
did they stop?
You didn't
Okay.
just jump on, jump off. You
Okay.
had to go in through the front
Okay.
and go out the back.
Oh.
But there were tracks all over. Like by me, it was Jamaica Avenue up
yeah,
until the
yeah.
Nassau line. Then it became Jericho Turnpike.
Right.
Jamaica Avenue had trolley tracks on both sides. And you look
Did
back
the trolley
on that,
continue through Nassau County, or did it like stop
Yeah,
at
it
that
went
the
all the
line?
way. I don't remember that
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
You know.
I wonder, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the trolley car was the way
Way to travel.
people travel.
Right.
How long was that there for? Like, is it just when the automobile?
I
like, when-
actually
yeah, like,
just
when did
made a
that-
note to myself. I want to look up a little bit about
Yeah,
the trolley car.
like, when did it
'cause
go
I'm
away, right?
Putting it in my hodgepodge. All right.
That's what I'm saying. Your hodgepodge alone is
It's the
essentially
memoir.
this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We could
but I
write
mean,
memoirs from
I
Otto's
just thought
memory.
about that yesterday, actually, and
Yeah.
How much did it cost, Otto?
Oh,
Like, was it like
I remember
5 cents kind
I
of a
can
thing?
remember going to the movies for 3 cents.
Wow.
In Woodhaven, there were 3 theaters. The
That was like
Haven-
$50 if you're lucky.
Yeah.
You
Like
think-
the
can you
Haven.
Yeah,
imagine?
and that's like a low ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Haven, the Willard, and Roosevelt Theater, all
Yeah.
gone naturally, but it couldn't have been more than a nickel,
Yeah.
tops.
No, but I think like what you're doing,
I
like,
got
and-
one other one.
Oh, good,
hey,
good.
let
Bring
him
it
go.
on. Bring it
Let him go.
on.
I can't think
We
of
used to
anything.
walk
Bring it
up
on.
and down Jamaica Avenue with a stick with gum on it, and we would be looking down
Right.
these grates,
Yep.
that were in front of the different stores, and we'd be, and I got triggered. I saw a picture of this the other day. What we would do was look down there,
See
looking
what you
for
can get.
coins with the gum on the end of the stick,
Yeah, it's like the original metal detector
Right,
you got.
right,
Yeah.
right. Metal detector.
trying to get money, And
Were you
back then you
successful?
could buy something for a penny.
Yeah.
Nickel, yeah.
Candy, penny candy.
Yeah,
You were just
yeah.
such an entrepreneur.
There were candy stores.
was real.
They were we had candy stores.
Spoiler alert, guys! Penny candy was
But anyhow,
real.
that's mine.
did
Now you
exist.
got to say something.
Oh, I can't even think. Come on, Christina, you're going next.
I mean, like, listen, I all
I-
these memories, and I was very fortunate in, when I grew up on a dead end street, so
Nice.
we had like, and then there was kids, there was people like who are still friends with today that were my neighbors across the street, my cousins, as you know, we were in a 2-family house, they were upstairs because we didn't do camp, that wasn't in our, and I grew up in a town that everyone did camp, so it was our dead end block that was
Right.
not in camp. So we were left, but I never wanted to do camp either. I loved being home. I loved doing my crafts, playing with my dolls, playing outside. I mean, I loved to just entertain myself. And I was an only child for 9 years, and then my brother came along. And then my cousins were upstairs, and they were, 2 or 3 years older than me, and then I had 3 years younger than me. So we had like our little unit. But, summers were just so awesome. It was just to have it, and it was just free. And then we would, my mom would take us, we'd have like our family vacation. But our block, I remember these holidays because it was a dead end street. It was such a big deal. Block parties, we would always laugh, because they were such a big event on the, Maple Street.
Yeah.
And it was just, those memories will always forever stick in, and just running around with a sprinkler. I mean, it was like this simplest thing.
Sprinkler is the
I
best.
want to be clear, to this
love a
day, love a sprinkler. On a
The
hot
slow
day, I'm like,
kind.
Jay,
The
flip
ones
up,
that go
flip up the
I
sprinkler.
even did that.
Yeah, right. But it was like, those were like things that really,
They had sprinklers.
Yeah, and we drank hose water,
Yes, we drank
Spoiler,
those.
millennials drank hose water, guys.
That's a
Totally.
good. Hose water tastes good. You get that little
That-
metallic,
that's-
and
that's-
it's cold.
I said to Jay, the
Had that
smell
little
of
dirt
it.
in it.
Especially
But
when
it's
you're
so
hot.
nostalgic to me
Yeah,
to
dirt.
smell it. Like, I
No, I
love
know.
to smell the smell
go,
of hose water. When Jay turns that hose on, I just love it. But,
That's it.
it was those memories, and there
we
was
didn't have
always
water
these
bottles.
barbecues.
Put it that way. We didn't know.
We were not carrying around water
that's an
bottles.
Did
interesting
not
thing,
exist.
Too.
No,
You
but
have
the
to
reusable,
wonder.
my little nieces walk around with the world's heaviest water bottles,
It's
and
such a
they're serious
different-
about it. They will schlep those to every outing. We can just go for lunch, and they have that
Right.
water bottle that'll
Right.
knock somebody out.
I wonder how we grew up hydrated. I swear. I
Me
don't
and
think
Jay-
I don't recall drinking water ever in a day.
Jay said-
Milk was dinner.
Jay
But-
said the same thing because I was
I'm
laughing
like,
with my
how did
husband.
I survive
Because
it?
now we're so obsessed.
Oh,
We
with
had
food.
milk
We're
delivered.
very big on
You had to eat
water
milk.
in our
Yeah,
house.
yeah.
We had
But my
milk-
husband
Milk delivered back
said
then.
he
So do we.
landscaped for many years with his dad, so he's been doing his whole life with his dad. And he was saying, he's like, he never drank water. He said he drank like soda and what have you. And he's like, I don't know how I survived because now I'm like crazy. If I'm going out, I'm like, you need to stay hydrated the night
Right.
before. We're going on a road trip.
Yeah,
if
we're
I'm going to a
measuring. Did I
concert.
have 60
Yeah.
ounces? How much did I have today?
It's just those things are so interesting, and I'm
sunscreen.
glad because I love growing up the way I did because I feel like I got it was like the last time when things were a little simpler before, I knew what it was like to have the internet and then to have the internet like involved and still be like at a young age. So it was like an interesting kind of thing. But those are the memories that I have, right? And I loved, just being outside. I was a Barbie doll queen, of course.
Do you still have your Barbie dolls?
I have some, yes, I do. I mean, unfortunately, I have
Did you make
some of the
clothes?
things.
Did you make
Yes.
your own clothes?
Of course, because I was going to be a fashion designer,
right.
obviously, in my brain. Obviously, I was, Molly Ringwald and, pretty and thing. I
That
was
would
like,
be
I'm going to be a
American
designer.
Girl, right?
American Girl.
Oh, I did the American Girl. That was
They were a
also.
fortune. They were a
Girl.
fortune.
They were a
Oh my
fortune.
God.
Bless my wonderful mother, who made sure I always had the latest and greatest toys that she'd usually be pushing on me. Like, don't you want this? You sure you don't want this toy? But it's those memories, and it's those simple things, and like I was so fortunate that we did grow up, and obviously our block, we weren't the wealthiest of kids, but we laugh to this day, me and my cousins, because you were always kind of sad that we didn't have this, but. And now as adults, you look back and everything's so fun. I mean, it was complete chaos in our two-family house, not from my downstairs family, but the upstairs family. My cousins were a little more, my twin boy cousins were a little more wild than what was going on downstairs. But it was, those memories, like we wouldn't trade for the world. Like I tell their children now, we grew up together and this is, what it was, we all were in a hat. They're like, oh my God, you guys all live together. It's like this like completely foreign concept, but it's those things that were like the best times ever, really.
Paula?
Oh, where do you even start? Well, I was very, very fortunate. I also had a very wonderful, happy childhood. And I come from a big family, 6 girls, and my sisters, one got married, one at a time. And there was always a house full. We always had people like everywhere. And growing up then, so I grew up predominantly, it was through the 70s. We had such a nice, my friends from the block, it was always the block. My mother bought a pool, a Henny Hendon pool.
Oh, you have the house
Which
with
was
a pool
above
there.
I had the house with the pool.
You were the house with the pool.
It was like above, but built in. I don't know if you remember
Yes,
them.
I know
It had
exactly,
the
yes.
deck around it. And actually,
those are like coming back now on a side note. It's the above, like the fancier above
I'm telling you,
pools,
we
yes.
were like a magnet. We were like, all of a sudden, boys were like everywhere. It was just great.
It had nothing to
great.
do with
No,
6
like,
girls.
all of a sudden, we all had boyfriends. Like, I don't know, but so my house was kind of like the place to come to. And my mother was just the sweetest person. Like, she just wanted people around, and all very weird but kind of interesting. Everyone on the block actually grew up one way or the other, not really having fathers present. But so they were very strong mothers.
Where was this block?
Well, in West Hempstead.
Okay.
My dad died when I was very young, when I was in 4th grade.
Oh, wow.
And my other friends had, either it was divorce. It was one was just, very serious alcoholic who wasn't home. Very sad. But we had like the happiest childhood. Like, it was
So
unbelievable.
your mother basically raised 6
My
girls?
mother, no, my 4 older
Are way older,
sisters
yeah, they're a lot older.
were older.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah, they were married, had children.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we spanned like 15 years.
Oh,
but
okay.
but you would it was just the happiest house. It was just such a happy place to be. And any holiday, we all had to dress up for that holiday. And along these lines, in 1776.
I said,
no,
Paula!
wait a minute, no,
I said, Paula's a vampire!
1976 was a very big deal.
50 years.
Oh, yeah.
And my
right,
sister
right.
was an artist, and she made the coolest like graphic T-shirts of Lady Liberty.
Oh, I love it.
And it was our, we had a big 4th of July party at the house, and we all had to wear T-shirts, and we all had the foam Lady Liberty,
that's so
and we had,
cute.
and then
I
we had
love
this
it.
whole like ensemble of singing. We sang a lot.
Yeah.
Like if our family was together, we were singing.
So you could sing
singing.
on a show sometime?
Oh no, I can't sing. No, I was. We all sang together.
She could sound good together.
We would print out Christmas carols. Like we always
I
had to have a
love
booklet.
that.
So somebody always made the booklet
Oh,
of
I
what
love
we're going
it.
to sing.
That's so great.
But
That's funny.
just
I have one of
extremely
those.
yeah. So if we were together, there was going to be singing, and it was just really just a lovely.
Well, not
it was sad. Obviously, I lost my dad. But what So that's when we got
But
the
you think about the
that's when we got the
resilience.
Henny Hendon pool.
Yeah.
My
We
mother
had
was like,
support.
all
She's like,
right,
I gotta throw them in a pool.
huge
Yeah.
support.
Well, not 76,
friends.
but just like you.
I was
we
16.
had a big party.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of pictures. We were all
Oh,
dressed
I want
up
to
with
see
Yeah,
that.
different
yeah.
stuff. you
Yeah.
know.
Lady Liberty, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was great. I mean,
Well,
So cool.
it was, what was it, the bicentennial. And they had the big ships come in,
Yep.
and like
Yes.
Port Washington.
Yeah,
had
there was something.
A lot
yeah.
of stuff going on back then.
Right.
Um,
So
You
what
were
else you have,
in
Ida?
1976? Were you in Manhasset at the time?
1976, I was in Manhasset. Yeah. Unfortunately, in 1977, we found out my wife had cancer, and that was the end as far as that part goes.
Right,
But
yeah.
76 was a year that we found out that she had problems, but we still had a big celebration
Yeah, yeah,
for the bicentennial.
yeah, yeah. That was really
yeah.
a nice
And it
time.
very clearly sticks in my brain
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
like World War II.
Yeah,
You know, a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff.
yep,
My kids were young, you know,
yeah.
50 years younger.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
When did you meet Bunny?
Bunny, I met my wife's first sister,
Right.
my first wife's sister,
Right,
and Bunny's high school friend lived next door to each other in Levittown.
okay.
And they thought my sister-in-law knew me because I was like the vagabond that played with every kid on the block back then.
Right,
You know,
vagabond.
in Levittown, there were
Right.
a lot of kids.
Right.
Yeah.
So and I was always playing in the
Right.
street with them. So between those two, my Bunny's high school friend from way back
Yeah.
and my first wife's sister, they thought it'd be a good idea if they put us together.
Oh, wow.
And they did.
Not wonderful.
See?
So we, back in those days, you didn't have this.
No, that must have been something.
Well, we talked on the phone every day for
Wow.
a couple of weeks.
Wow.
And she had 3 kids about
Yeah.
the same age
The
It's
Brady
as
amazing.
my 3 kids.
Right. It's just amazing.
So we had a lot of kids to talk about.
Right.
You know.
That was a lot to talk
Yeah.
about.
and frankly, grieving.
Yeah,
You know,
of
'cause
course.
we were both.
You were both,
She
yeah.
had just lost her husband.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
35 years old.
Oh, my
wife
gosh.
was 40.
Wow.
So we had a lot to talk
A
about,
lot in
and
com-
you know,
yeah. Yeah.
somehow it
Right.
worked
And it's
out.
still stuck, and you're the
We love
greatest
Bunny.
couple ever.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
will say, like in the hodgepodge, it's very, very different. My first wife and I worked together in an insurance company, all right? And we walked together, and we,
Yeah.
she was engaged at that time.
Oh, yeah, I
but,
think
you
we
know,
heard
That's a
this
whole-
scandal.
It's one of my personal favorite stories.
First
about it.
scandal of Otto's.
we got to be buddies walking around and this and that,
Right.
so she broke the engagement, and then
Wait a minute, we went for a walk
Like-
and
Yeah,
then Bunny
like
broke
that's
the
how it
engagement.
rolls.
Well, like-
And then they're like, forget that. Yeah.
like some people I know, we had difficulty in getting children, and married 7 years with no children. All right, so we had a long time to get to know each
Right.
other. Whereas Bunny and I, we come
Was-
home from our honeymoon, we got 6 kids.
Right, right.
So
oh my God,
This
a
is
different
dealing
world.
with a different planet
Right,
altogether. All right.
yes.
And this auto, we're gonna have we're at the end, so we're gonna have to pick this up because it's actually one of my favorite stories ever. But I would like to thank everyone listening to Project Independence and You Talk of the Town. I'd like to thank Paul and Otto for another great show. Project Independence and You is a production of Long Island University Public Radio. Special thank you to Dan Cox. Join us again next Friday at 10 a.m. on LIU Public Radio. Goodbye, have a great weekend, and have a happy 4th of July. We will talk about all of our festivities when we return. Have a good one.